Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So let me tell you a little bit about my experience with ExpressVPN and gaming. So I like to game, obviously, specifically Tekken. As you can tell, I've got lots of hours here. And if you think this is too little, well, you should just see my Tekken 7 hours. And this is just on PC. So to say the least, I have had my fair share of gaming, whether it's Tekken or Elden Ring or whatever other game. And whenever I want to use a VPN for gaming, I just find myself going to ExpressVPN. Now, why would I use a VPN for gaming? Now, oftentimes I find my connection fluctuating quite a bit. I'm not exactly blessed with the best of connections. And so whenever I feel like my ping is going all over the place, I like to stabilize it using a VPN. And Express is the VPN that I happen to use. I've tested a lot of the other top VPNs, including Nord and Surfshark and Astral VPN and Private VPN and Torguard and so on and so forth. And they all work well in their own respect, but I found the most consistent performance to be with ExpressVPN. Now, you may be asking, a VPN actually increases your ping, so why would you use a VPN for gaming or while you're gaming? Now, true, a VPN will increase your ping, but only if you're using the VPN without the tip that I'm about to mention. And that tip is making sure that you connect to the VPN server that is closest to your gaming server. So let's just take Call of Duty as an example here. You can see that the Call of Duty 6 official dedicated server locations are in these cities. And so let's just say, for the sake of the example, I'm in between New York and Atlanta. But for whatever reason, whenever I connect, I keep getting connected to the Atlanta server for whatever reason, and it just keeps messing up my ping, and I'm being connected to servers that are not so stable, and it's just not really ideal for my connection, right? So that's one example where I could go ahead and click on the locations here on Express, go to the States, and connect to a New York server. So once I connect to the New York server, I know that I'm connected to the VPN server that is closest to the gaming server that I would like to play in. And so if I went to what is my IP address here, you'll see that it says I'm in New York and nowhere else, because again, I'm connected to the ExpressVPN New York server. So it shows that I'm in New York. And so when I go into the game, it'll think that I'm also in New York. That's basically how it works. And so if you do that, you're able to make sure that your ping is about as stable as it can get. And it also makes sure that it doesn't dramatically drop. And if it does drop, it's just by a small, tiny little bit, rather than getting a 50 or 100 increase in your ping when using, different locations. Essentially, ping is all about distance. So you want to shorten the distance between your VPN server and gaming server as much as possible to get the best ping that you can get. So that's one of the reasons why I would use ExpressVPN over any other VPN. The stability of their servers and, the fact that I'm actually able to get reliable ping with Express. Now, other reasons why I like to use Express for gaming specifically, besides the stabilization of my ping, is getting access to content that may not be available to me, or maybe even getting early access to games that are still not available to me, whether, it's through early release or alphas or betas that are only available in specific locations. So that's a really cool way of using Express for gaming. Now, when it comes to accessing content that's not available to you, this doesn't stop with gaming. It also extends to streaming services. So if there's a streaming service like Hulu, for example, which is only available in the States, and maybe you're traveling outside the States, you may notice that Hulu is completely not available. So all you have to do in this case to make it available is make it look like you're in the States using Express by, again, just connecting to an American server, and you're good to go from there. As you can tell here, because I'm connected to the American server, if I go down here, you'll see top 10 TV shows in the US. And again, this is thanks to ExpressVPN. And don't mistake this feature for being present in all the other VPNs. This is one aspect that most VPNs struggle in, but ExpressVPN is able to access all kinds of streaming services and libraries from different regions, all the way up to 105 countries. So you've got a lot of countries to play around with here, whether you want to access, their local content or streaming services or play with people from that content. Of course, don't ever try to connect to people from one continent to another. So maybe if you're in Singapore, let's just say, and you're trying to connect to gaming servers in New York, it's just almost impossible for you to get playable ping there. So, keep things like that in mind. Now, I would say a VPN protects you from DDoS attacks, but unless you're a big streamer or somebody that resembles some form of target online, it's not really going to be a concern for you when it comes to DDoS attacks. And of course, that's not to say that a VPN will also increase your privacy and security, especially if you tend to use public Wi-Fi or if you travel. You never want to connect to a public Wi-Fi or any kind of public network without the protection of a VPN. And other benefits like ExpressVPN, being incredibly quick, and thanks to the very high download speeds that you can reach with Express. So, you're not canceling out your speed once you use a VPN. Again, if you didn't know, a VPN will drop your speed, your download speed, your upload speed, and it will increase your ping when you turn it on. But when you use a reliable VPN with a reliable protocol, so if I were to go to protocols here, you'll notice that I'm using the lightweight UDP protocol, and this is going to be the most optimized protocol for everything. Just think of protocols like vehicles, and some vehicles are larger, maybe safer and slower, and other vehicles may be smaller, maybe less safe, but they're quicker. So think of lightweight UDP as the most optimized vehicle for speed, privacy, and security, and reliability, and so on and so forth. So that's why I like to use it. So if you're using the lightweight UDP protocol and you're connecting to the VPN server that is closest to your game server, this is one way to optimize your gaming experience. But nonetheless, besides gaming, again, you're getting really good privacy, and the no-logs policy is actually audited, meaning that not only do they claim that they don't collect any of your information and sell it for profit, but they also have evidence of that as shown in their independent audit reports, which all result in great standing. And they've got about 20 audit reports at this point. They keep having a bunch each year, which is really cool. And it's exactly what you want to see out of your VPN. And it basically reassures people that yes, this VPN is safe to use due to all these positive conclusions with the yearly independent audit reports. So in conclusion, would I still recommend or would I still use ExpressVPN for gaming today? Well, the answer is yes. Honestly, this is my go-to VPN, not just for gaming, but for torrenting, streaming, and just overall privacy. It's compatible with all kinds of devices, and I can connect up to 8 devices per subscription, which is enough for me personally. I've got it up on 4 or 5 devices at this point, and that covers all of my devices. So, I still have room to share it around with a friend or a family member. And with gaming, yes, if you're looking to play maybe with different people from different regions, if you want to stabilize your ping, or if you just want to get access to content that's not available to you, then ExpressVPN would be a VPN that basically works flawlessly as far as performing VPN tasks. So if that's what you're interested in, then feel free to check out the link below. I'll be sure to leave a discount code that actually gives you the best possible discount available for Express. And if you're looking to learn a little bit more about Express, I'll include a review below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.